What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a video about how to sell a watch on eBay. More importantly, how to take photos and properly measure a watch and what it's all about. I don't think anyone's really done this on eBay or on YouTube to really teach people how to actually sell a watch. Number one is you want to source watches. I highly recommend that you go to like a local coin shop or pawn shop or a place that, people bring their collectibles in from either estate sales that don't sell, or there's those we kind of buy gold places, but there are typically places, not necessarily pawn shops. There's not very many here in Illinois, but I found a nice local source that basically when someone passes away or people need money, they bring in their collectibles in bulk. And that particular shop just buys everything. So I was able to, through eBay, find them, notice that they were 2 towns away, and I'm picking up watches literally for under $2 a piece. And they're super cool about me coming in and picking them up, and that saves me $19 on the shipping. So that's how I'm getting these for $2 a piece. So anyways, let's get into the video. So number one, source your watches, source them really cheap. You don't have to buy real expensive banger watches. I'm concentrating more on the affordable stuff, but there is nice stuff that I do end up finding. But we have all kinds of brands. Like this looks really expensive, but this is the late Suzanne Summers. She sold a ton of stuff like this on Home Shopping Network, and her stuff's real easy to spot. It says Suzanne Summers, and it's not junk. I mean, someone paid probably $80, $100, maybe $200 back in the day. Have no idea, but you can get really nice ladies fashion watches or men's. In this case, I'm going to show a bunch of ladies watches that I picked up. But I basically got 60 total watches, and I spent all night. I mean, I stayed up late, guys, and basically popping out these snapback cases. This is the tool I highly recommend. So you want to buy a watch repair toolkit, and this device here, lets you get inside of these type of cases. I don't know if I can do it so easily on that one. And some of these watches have like little marks on them. So here's a little arrow. So it's like, hey, stupid, you want to pop this case off the back? You can. These are a heck of a lot easier. There are some that require a special mechanism that screws the watch. So hence this Fossil watch. See these little niches here? You have to have the tool that you kind of like set up to go into 3 spots, and then you take the tool and you basically untwist. So these are like screw-in ones. But that this vintage, whatever this is, kind of blurry, vintage Timex, which this one's kind of cool. I didn't even realize it did it, but I'll like dim my photo booth here. Come on, lights. I don't have the clapper yet, but here, look at that. That's freaking cool. This is the only watch out of the 60 I picked up. But I enjoy doing this. So this box of watches with that particular seller has been sitting on eBay for probably well over a year, and I just use Google Lens on some, and there's some fugazi, like fake Rolexes and stuff in there. But all in all, the area that shop's located at, I notice every time I go in there to pick up my order, there's always like some older or middle-aged lady. I'm old, guys, too. I'm 48. I guess I'm considered beyond middle age, but there's always someone there sitting at a desk, and they bring in like odds and ends, coins. I mean, people need money right now, or people pass away, and the kids bring their parents' stuff in that they find after cleaning out a house. So, something like this, somebody actually wants. Like, people actually still do buy watches, but they don't want to buy junk from you. They don't want to buy something that's broken. Like, think about it if in this case, like, I don't want to buy broken stuff that I can't fix. If I'm going to buy a watch for a gift or for myself or for, a nice lady, you know, like my wife or my daughters, I'm going to make sure the actual watch is working. So it's very important if you do resell watches, and yeah, you can sell them for parts. If you're not even skilled and you don't think you have the dexterity in your hands remaining to pop watches off, or the tools, you don't even want to mess with it, that's fine. Just buy watches. But you want to list them as tested or not tested, and put in the listing that you're not sure that they're actually working. But guys, these batteries, easy to pop off. This particular battery is like under $1. I buy them in bulk, and I like to concentrate on, you know, vintage watches that are affordable. Sometimes I run into some bangers. I got a Dolce & Gabbana listed for $375, and that watch I paid $2 for. There were some nice Citizen watches in there, Echo drives, which I was clueless on, and those particular batteries have capacitors on them, because I guess through sunlight, the Citizen watch will help keep the battery charged. I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, all these are dead. But, you know, and they're like under $100, but some of them are really nice. And anyways, you want to basically, this is how you want to photograph the watch. So after you've sourced it, after you've, what I do is I replace the battery. And then when you place these snapbacks back on the watch, you want to always make sure that it's in the proper order. So if you're looking at the 12 o'clock dial, you want to make sure if someone's turning the watch over that the 12 o'clock part is in the correct location. Sometimes these casebacks will have like little niches where the crown goes, and you can either use your hands here. So I'm gonna, oh, I can't snap that one back, so I guess I'll teach you guys a trick here. All right, so we're gonna kind of do this on the fly. So let me scan down here, and you basically want to take your watch. You want to make sure on a flat surface. In this case, this is in my light booth, and this is in my desk. And you want to take a soft towel, and then I prefer this level here. It has a magnet on one side, which we don't want in touch with the watch, but you just take it like this, and you can stand over it, and then you snap the snap case back in if you can't snap it back with your hands. And there we go. We have snapped the case back on. Sometimes these snap cases, when you snap them off, they'll have like little rubber grommets. You don't want to disturb those, because that's what creates the water resistance. And then I also purchased a professional ultrasonic cleaner that actually heats up the watch, or not heats up the watch, heats up the water. And all I simply do is put water and Dawn soap, and I will actually dip it in, not the whole case and crown, but I'll just dip in the bands, not the leather bands, but the metal bands, and I'll make sure everything is clean before I take photos. Plus, I don't want to sell a watch to somebody and it smells, you know, or it's grimy, or it has some woman's lotion that is no longer living, you know. I don't want any human remains or dirt on watches that I sell. So I actually picked up some of these jewelry display stands. So this is one of them. I got this from a lady in Iowa. She just had a handful of them. And this one here, because I was also purchasing like vintage bracelets. Nothing real gold. Sometimes I'll run into some silver, but I stay away from the higher priced items just because it makes me nervous when you're selling something of high value and you got to ship it. So I like to keep my, you know, at most, you know, $500-600. But usually, like, most of these watches will be under $50. So what I do is I put the watch like this on my display, and then I will zoom in and take a photo. And I don't know if I can do it while I'm in video mode. But I'll basically take a photo like this. I don't want to show very much glare. And then I'll take a photo. I'll get really low on my camera here, but I'll take a photo of the side of the watch, the other side with the crown. I will set the clock too. All right. And then sometimes if there is any scratches or anything noticeable, I will take it at an angle so that when I take the photo, you can see the scratch very clearly. And I'll also mark that in my listing. I will also take pictures of the band because people want to see what the band looks like. So I'll kind of do this. It won't be in my hand though. It'll be on this piece. And then while I have the watch on this, I will take this tool here, which I also use for coins to authenticate, and we'll zero this out. And you want to keep it in millimeters because all watches are measured in millimeters. And I measure it from the end of the watch and the crown. And so this watch in particular, I would say is a 27. You either want to round down or round up. So this would be a 27 millimeter size watch. That's from that's the case size. And then the crown size is, or the lug size, sorry, is basically lug to lug. So this too, so this would be a 30 millimeter lug to lug. And then you also want to measure the band. So the band here is a 10 millimeter band size. And then I take a photo of the watch like this. Obviously I zoom in, but I like to show the watch in its entirety. And then I will take a picture of the case here, which is 8 millimeters. All right, that's the not case. This is the what is this called? I don't know. I think it's the case. No, it's not the case size. I forgot what that measurement is. But and then if there's anything like that, you have to pay attention to the type of clasp. So I think this is a folding butterfly clasp. And then there's like these kinds here. And eBay already has like the clasps labeled out, but you want to make sure all the clasps work properly. And then, it's very important to basically tell people what size wrist it'll fit on. And that's anywhere from like 5 inches for like little kids to men's, which, you know, they can get pretty big, but usually the range is around 7.5. Now my wrist is probably a good 7-inch. So then I also take a photo if it fits on my wrist. Not all these ladies' watches are going to fit on my wrist, but I'll take a photo of the watch on my wrist. So posting all those photos is what I'll do, and then I'll also weigh it. So we'll take our scale here, and again, we want to keep everything metric. So we put it on grams, and then, well, we don't want to put the watch on right away because then we want to make sure the scale is zeroed out. And then I'll weigh it there. So that probably is usually my last photo. Oh, and then also very important to take a picture of the back of the watch. And when you do, you want to make sure everything's in focus. So like the model number, and then other things to note for. So in the case of this one, this does have 30 meters of water resistance. It is made of stainless steel. So, and then usually there's some sort of model number. This actually tells you the battery it uses. There's not really a model number on this, so I would just call this a vintage Timex. The hell was the size again? Sorry. 27 millimeter watch, gold, silver toned, which it's, you know, like that. This is Roman numerals. Or I'm sorry, these are Arabic numbered dial. It has a second hand, and that maybe is the model number here. Hold on, it's a little blurry. It's an Indiglo, and then there's some sort of model number under there, but it's kind of hard to read through my video camera, which is my cell phone. And then I'd also, obviously, in this case, since this one glows, I would turn the lights off in my light booth, and then I would take a photo of the watch like this. And I actually might use that as my starting photo, because anytime someone's looking at a handful of watches, on eBay and then they see a photo of one that's actually glowing, it's kind of cool. It kind of sticks out and it'll get more people to click on it. But nothing fancy about this. This is probably under a $30 watch. And then after I'm done taking the photos and listing on eBay, I'll actually use some painter's tape. I'll put it in a little bag. You can get these size bags, so they're like half sandwich bags from like the dollar store. I think you can get like 50 for $1.25. It's like really the $1.25 store. And I will take some painter's tape and I'll write on it, this is the watch and when I listed it. So I'll show you guys an example. Here's some that I've already processed. So I'll take these little half sandwich bags. I'll put what I listed it for, when I listed it, what it's listed on, the model, the type, the brand of the watch, the model, and then just kind of bag it up like that. But here's a nice, $100 Citizens. Again, part of that $2 watch lot. And that is just an outstanding, nice vintage watch that actually works and, looks real fancy, but someone will pay $100 for it. Like this, everything that's old, that's kind of out of style is kind of coming back. Or ladies might lose their watch or break their old watch. So that might be a customer, for like something like this. Or someone might say, you know what, I remember, mom's watch or my sister's watch or whatever. I want to get one like it, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. So here's a nice Pulsar watch here. Has a cool little band with like a little chain on it. Yeah, nothing crazy. $40, and I'm running all these on 25% off right now too, because I don't care. I got $2 in it plus, my time, my labor. I do change all the batteries. Even like something like this, and don't ask crazy numbers for your watches. Like you don't want a watch museum. You actually want to sell them. So this one's pretty cool. It's a dual log, and this has a very nice vintage. Teach you guys about bands here. Speedle. So this leather band is real and it's vintage. To replace just the band on this watch is like $40. You can probably find a seller on eBay that has some older inventory for $20, but again, asking $40 for a watch that works, 2 batteries were changed, and has basically a $40 band. So that's the kind of stuff you want to get. Again, if you want to do ladies' watches. Now this is the killer watch here. Once this one sells, so this is the Dolce & Gabbana vintage watch. There's really only 2 sellers in Canada. They're asking close to $400 for theirs, but sometimes designer is everything, and this brand is obviously very, very expensive for women's clothing and purses and stuff and leathers. But it's a nice fashion watch. Again, there's no real silver, there's no real gold, but it's all about the name, and this one works. And the actual band is also genuine leather and is also Dolce & Gabbana. And it's real Dolce & Gabbana. You can tell it's not a cheap made in China fake band. Like I said, if something has a name brand on it, they're going to make it nice. It's not going to be, made with cheap materials. But, even like Gucci makes watches. There's a Gucci one I picked up to part of this lot, but it doesn't work, so I'll just sell it for parts. But again, this video is to help you guys out. Again, the most important part is to source good stuff that someone will actually want to buy. Don't just source junk. But if you see this kind of stuff, you'll run into home runs like I did, like with this Dolce & Gabbana. Again, I've got for 60 watches. Basically, I guess what I'm getting to is like, there's plenty of stuff to resell on eBay, but like if you want to do watches, just make sure you're good at taking very clear photos. You're comfortable taking the watch backs off. You have the proper tools. You're okay with, sourcing 20, 30 batteries at a time, have a decent inventory. What'll commonly happen is that I'll buy a lot of watches and then I have to order batteries, which then I'll have to wait, 3 to 4 or 5 business days for those batteries to arrive, and that'll delay the processing of the watch. So always you want to have some batteries on hand if you're going to purchase these in lots, or just buy them one at a time. Like look at someone that's just, I guess selling one on auction. They don't realize what they have, and you could do one at a time. But I like to get as many things listed. So when I have this stuff, like I just picked this up yesterday, I processed them last night. I've already listed 7 of them, but they're all ready to go. So I have all the batteries and everything in them. I've already sorted the ones that are not worth selling as nice. So I got to kind of sort through that bag. And then I have, a bunch of watches in a bag that I'm just waiting for batteries, like those Echo Drive ones. I had no clue those batteries are like close to $20. So probably if I see that in the future, I'm not going to buy a Citizen Echo Drive, knowing that even if I got the watch for only $2, it's really costing me $20 plus my time, plus my effort of cleaning it, because I gotta buy that really expensive solar battery that's made by Panasonic. And you don't want to put cheap China batteries in these either, guys. Just buy the XL, or buy the Energizer. Like buy an actual real nice battery, because you're selling this for a profit. Your future buyer wants the watch to last as long as they're willing to have it. They want to have a good experience with you. And, if they're in the market for another watch, they'll look for you. They'll be like, wow, that guy sold me a nice watch on eBay. He took the time to clean it. He took the time to put a nice battery in it, took accurate photos. I'm happy. And they'll buy more watches from you. Man, if you get fans, a bunch of ladies that are fans of yours, if you're selling ladies' watches, like look out, because they like to buy stuff. And so do guys too. So, but anyways, I'm going to end this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm going to get these ones that I have not processed yet listed. And long story short, $100 invested in 60 watches, probably close to $80 in batteries invested. So $180 all in. I have spent a good 4 or 5 hours processing all 60 watches, setting the time, making sure they accurately work, cleaning them, taking Q-tips after I take the snapbacks off, all that stuff, making sure it's nice. And then probably going to spend, to list them doesn't take very much time. It maybe takes me around 5 minutes per watch. And that's because each watch is different, right? So I have to look up what it's selling for, do some research. But overall, taking 180, and looks like I'm going to make close to 2,000, probably close to 1,500 to 2,000, depending, what they all end up selling for. Again, I still have to go through a bunch of these, but it's a great way to, I guess, refurbish or rehistoric, just bring back some historical value to some ladies that are looking, like I said, for a watch that they might have had, or maybe they wanted to buy back then, never got an opportunity to. Or, with the ladies, usually it's like, oh, we've got a wedding to go to or a dinner party. I don't want to wear my real Rolex. I want to, I'll wear something like this that looks nice, but I'm not afraid of, losing or getting damaged because, I'm spending under $100 for a watch. So I enjoy it. I enjoy restoring this. I enjoy coins. I enjoy jewelry, all that stuff. But the vintage stuff's really, really cool. And that has not really been tapped into by other resellers because it's a lot of work. Most people just want to buy something, take photos, maybe they test it, maybe they don't, and move on to the next item. Whereas I actually do enjoy cleaning these up. There's some kind of satisfaction when you like dip this in ultrasonic cleaner. You see like all the black smoke come off of this thing, which is all the dirt and grime. And then you get like this beautiful piece at the end of the day, and you get rewarded. You take your stuff to the post office, you get rewarded, and the buyer's happy, you're happy, and you get to rinse and repeat it and do it all over again. So I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Maybe I like making people happy, and you know, this is a pretty cool hobby to do. And again, this is not my full-time job. I just like enjoy doing this, and the money is nice, but I really enjoy restoring these things or things like this, or sharing coins with others. And I just want to share this video with you. So please like, share, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I do coins, I do jewelry, I do CDs, I do VHS, anything historic that's cool. I just enjoy reselling. So appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.